Hey, nerdy sports fan here, and we're talking my favorite game of the week, Philly going to visit my hometown Buffalo Bills. It's great to be 5-1. It really is. Now, there's doubters, obviously. The highest quality game that the Bills have had on the season so far has been against the Patriots, and that was a loss. But it was a quality loss, okay? They only just barely lost that game. And if their quarterback didn't get injured, they might have won. So I am not discouraged by that in any way. They're taking care of the teams they're supposed to take care of. That's how you get a good record, how you get into the playoffs, and that's what all the good teams do. So, if you split the games that are actually challenging and dominate or at least come out with a W, all the games that you definitely should, that's how you build a good record. So I have no qualms about what's going on with the Bills season so far. The Eagles, on the other hand, I'm sure have a lot of qualms about what's been going on with their season. They are 3-4 in a year where, they really should have produced a better record by now with the talent they have, having a recent Super Bowl victory and not really turning over too much of the roster since then. The most significant loss they've had was Nick Foles, and you could qualify Jay Ajayi as a significant loss. I think he's a much higher quality running back than what they've replaced him with since he's not been there. So Sproles has been hurt, Deshaun Jackson's been hurt, you have issues with Alshon Jeffrey's been hurt. He's been playing through injury for the past couple of weeks. He's still not full speed. I don't care what anybody tells you. But yeah, they've had a lot of injuries given. They've got a quality staff otherwise. They still got Zach Ertz. They still got two semi-decent running backs in Howard and Sanders. And they got Carson Wentz, former number 2 overall pick quarterback, who's supposed to be the man of the future here. And he wasn't the one that won you the Super Bowl. I don't got to tell you that. I don't know if they still have seen what Wentz's top end is, but, maybe they have. And that's disconcerting. He didn't produce at the highest level. Foles did. So what is Wentz? When, the chips are down, what is he going to be? He hasn't been in that position and produced regularly. So, against this defense, that ain't going to work. All right? The Bills' secondary might be the best in the league. The only one in competition with them is in their division, the Patriots. Defense overall, by the way. Again, Patriots, best in the league, likely. Bills, they're second. They've got a great defense. And it's built on not any one guy. They have a rotation at defensive line that works really well. They've got a very deep and a very talented secondary. The linebacking core, not so deep, but, when they have all their guys healthy, solid. Not the kind of defense that you want to go against on the road as a 3-4 team trying to get some traction going into the playoffs. This is an extremely tough game for the Eagles. The Bills, this will just be a quality game, quality competition to show that they're for real. And their coaching staff knows that. McDermott used to coach with the Eagles. He knows what's going on here in that building. And he knows some of the players still from his tenure there. I think McDermott will bring his A game because nobody wants their former employer to best them. Nobody. And most of the country is voting for the Eagles in this one because I get it, recent history. But the NFL's a what have you done for me lately league. Not what did you do for me a few years ago. What are you doing for me right now? And right now, the Bills are winning, and they are a quality team, and the Eagles are floundering, dealing with injury, and finding offensive identity. Still. this point in the season, they do not have a formula for what their offense is doing with any regularity. So that doesn't spell win to me. It really doesn't. Looking deeper into it, Vegas has a 1.5 point line in favor of the Bills. Oh, I'd bet that all day. All day. The Bills have this game. They're going to win. Just by saying that, the average win in the NFL, it's not 1.5 points, okay? You're going to win by 2, 3, 4, 5 points. It's going to be single digits, sure, but it's more than 1 point, okay? Just the way the numbers shake out for scoring in the NFL, most times you win, it's more than 1 point you're winning by. So simply saying the Bills are going to win means they're likely to beat the spread. Now, with injuries, we talked about Philly. They're still not going to get Deshaun Jackson. Not sure why his abdominal injury is going on this long. He's older, so they might just be saving him for after the bye week, so get that stretch run in. If you watched week 1, that man was the identity of the offense. Okay, they need that deep threat in the offense in order to make it work. So that's likely why they're struggling offensively. They don't have that guy who can take the top off and make the safeties back off so they can utilize the shorter passing game with Zach Ertz and get the running backs more involved. People are probably just coming forward and loading the box on them, and they don't have that over-the-top threat. Alshon Jeffrey he's a load to deal with. He really is, but he's a physical guy. He's not a fast guy. So you're going to be able to keep up with him in coverage. They need that guy who can take the top off it, and they don't have him. So that being said, start the Bills defense. Just start them every week at this point. They will make the opposing team look as bad as they possibly can look. If teams are going to win against the Bills, they're going to win ugly. They're not going to have a racehorse-style scoring spree. So I would make sure you keep your Philly players on the bench because they're not going to get it this week. They're just not. The best possibility is Zach Ertz. The linebacking core for the Bills is a little hurt right now with Matt Milano taking some time off last week. Not sure if he's full speed, and he's the guy that's really integral in covering tight ends. He's their fastest, most physical linebacker, and if he's not full speed, Zach Ertz can take advantage of the middle of the field a little more. So Zach Ertz is always a go, and no different this game, but everybody else needs to ride the pine in Philly. Everybody else. As far as the Bills go, Frank Gore needs to start for you guys. Okay? Frank Gore is ageless. And this game is going to show you that. I mean, they're supposed to have a good run defense, but Ezekiel Elliott and Dallas showed the formula for beating them in the running game, and I think the Bills are not blind. So they're going to see what the Cowboys did. They've got a similarly built line, just big physical dudes. So they may not have as good of a pass protection ability, but simply by being big and physical guys, they're going to have the same run blocking ability that you have with that offensive line in Dallas. So Frank Gore is likely to have a great game. Now by his standards, because he's like 35 now, a great game means like 80 plus yards, possibly a touchdown, lots of carries. He's going to dominate the pace of the game. And so he's definitely start worthy, but more of a running back too. John Brown needs to be in your lineup. He's the safety valve for Josh Allen. He's going to need that safety valve often because this is one of the better defenses he's gone against all season. And John Brown is too fast to take him out of the game. You're double cover him, whatever, doesn't matter. He is faster than most people in the league. So he's going to break open and get his targets. So definitely make sure he's in your lineup. I'd leave Josh Allen on the bench. There's plenty better plays than him. And, man, I'm excited. I really am. So Hit up the rest of my videos for more fantasy advice that isn't as biased as this video was. And yeah, check out the Nerdy Sports Fan Weekly as well.